Hello and welcome to Efficient Strategy Gaming. Today we're going to be playing the Soviet Union on Elite Ironman mode with historical AI. This is going to be a historical build. So let's get into it. So today I would like to show you guys a historical build here. And we're going to be going with your typical industry and technology research tree there. And then we're going to put our factories on all the high infrastructure areas. But I kind of assume that we're going to give up at least like this much territory right here. So I'm not going to put anything past Kharkov there. Everything else is going back. Past the Urals. Definitely metagaming here. We know Germany's coming. And I'll even try to build in that spot right there, but that's a little close. I mean, Kharkov's a little close too, but we'll just keep it at that. And then I always suggest increasing the infrastructure of your capital, since that's where all of your supply kind of flows from in this game. Not going to start off with tanks or trucks. We're not going to be doing anything for a little while. We probably shouldn't build support equipment either. But we should build 2 AA guns for the anti-tank role and anti-aircraft role. Want that to go up to 30. Boom. And then we'll fill everything else back in. And we'll just be building fighters. Oh, almost forgot. Support equipment needs to come back too. Let's do it a little something like that. National focus is going to be interesting. So historically, we're doing a historical build here. And historically, the Baltic states, what is it? Latvia and Estonia here. Latvia and Estonia were taken over by Russia in 1940. I believe it was June of 1940, and they also took Brezarabia. I always that word just like confuses me for some reason. But we don't have to worry about all that stuff till 1940. So I can grab a few things in here and then kind of start worrying about that more around 1939, I guess. We have to go these 3 focus tree badges so that we can get down to claims in the Baltic. And once we get Baltic security, that'll pressure each of these countries. And I think some of them actually, let's see here, we get claims on those areas. And it starts increasing communism support, but we probably only need claims on the Baltic. But that takes quite a while to do. And then in the meantime, we're also going to have to do the purge, and we can grab up some of these. We're definitely going to need an extra research slot as quickly as possible. And we'll always start off with Stalinist Constitution, 160 political power. I always suggest going with the political power first. Not going to be building any divisions early. We're going to shift left click, and that gives us all of our divisions. Put that in our army here. And we're going to make a cavalry army. And then I'm changing all these templates to the basic template. There's not many mountains that we're going to be dealing with here either, so we're going to go away from that mountain division template. And just to show you guys the templates real quick, if I can find it, This is the weird mountain division template with combat width of 24. Has the engineering and has the artillery. So we get some some support equipment early. And then here's our base division right here. So we're going to start with this template and we're going to change it. We're going to make one with AA, one with engineers, and then stick right there. And then we'll probably upgrade. This is not a fairly strong motorized division. Like, it has no support regiments. And then in terms of tanks, no support again. So we're going to need that. So we're going to go with Tukaevsky as our main field marshal, and we're going to go with try to go with just 5 armies, because Tukaevsky is all you're going to have left, or rather the only general that I choose to have left, the only field marshal rather, after the Great Purge. So we're going to get all these armies going, and Tukaevsky is quite good. So there's going to be one army that's like a mobile army, and the rest are going to be infantry armies, and then we're done from there. I like how you can move these tabs. That's pretty cool. So we need to sack off some of, or get rid of rather, some of these divisions. And I think like 5 or 6 tank divisions is all we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with 6. And then we need to get rid of 4 of these cavalry divisions. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we could start up another army here. Just to defend Leningrad, because the Germans can do naval invasion here, and that can be quite dangerous, so you have to watch out for that for sure. And I always figure that it's probably best to not completely get rid of these divisions, because they have a bit of experience on them. You don't want to waste that. So we can have a home guard defense army here. And then we'll go with old Georgy Kulik. And here's the leaders that I pick. We'll go Rakovsky. Or no, we should go for Valazevsky. He's more balanced, and for our mobile army, he's a much more balanced leader. And then we can go Konev. Sorry, that was Zhukov, Konev. This guy's a good defender, Vatutin. And Vlasov. Okay. So we'll just line these guys up here on Poland. And then this army over here is just going to be defending the Leningrad area. And I think everything is set up. So let's roll here. So the basic premise of this historical build is going to be the fact that historically Russia wanted to invade Germany in, I think, 1942, but Germany ends up invading Russia a year earlier. So they were kind of caught off guard. So what we're going to do here is alt history. Obviously this is, you know, HOI4 is not completely historically accurate, but basically we're just going to do the old Barbarossa campaign here. So this is the pre-war era, and I'm just going to show you my setup and everything like that. And then the second video is going to be the actual fight itself, which for me, I'm used to playing this game offensively. It's like, it really bugs me to play this game defensively because you basically have huge amounts of forces that are encircled, and that's going to happen almost no matter what. So you kind of just have to mitigate that. And we're obviously going to be fighting along this front right here because we will have the Molotov-Ribbentrop pack. Okay, we're going to go Collectivist Propaganda next because that gives us 120 political power and stability 20%, which is going to do quite a bit for our factories. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to get Mikhail Kalinin because with stability 15%, that's going to be more than what we could get if we went free trade. So that's going to increase our factory output more than if we just go free trade. So free trade, we go from export to free trade. That's going to give us a 10% factory output, and it goes from 10 to 15%, and then again in construction and dockyard output 10 to 15%. So that's a net 5. So I want you guys to see here in terms of stability before I pick Kalinin and after. Our factory output before is 6.8. After, it's 3.2. So that was a difference of 10% factory output, not 5. So in this new meta, I do not go free trade first. In terms of the USSR, it's always best to go Kalinin first. So let's keep chugging along here. Next thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is the Battlefront and what we're kind of working with here. So we're going to take half of Poland. And then we've got our bog section here in the middle. I believe it's the Pripyat marshes right in here. So that's going to be an area where our forces are going to get caught and surrounded because you can't move. On the defense, we're going to get pushed back. But we're not going to be able to get supply. We're not going to be able to move out of this boggy, marshy area in the middle. That's a problem that I really can't overcome. We could just give up land, but I would rather not. We're not going to be fighting early, so I'm not going to go radio. So we got to think what can help me out here early. We kind of have enough oil, not really enough rubber. Pocket defense is, we'll get to which doctrine I'm going to go for, which land doctrine I'm going to go for. It would be nice to just get tanks early. But it would also be nice to get a boost to our research. So I'm going to go for that. And it's plus 4%. So I think that got, in one of the patches, that got boosted. I think it was only 3% before. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then we got to remember to upgrade these guys. We're going to go organization first. So the other feature that I wanted to point out to you guys about this Battlefront is the fact that we're going to be up in this area right here. And then Romania is going to be Germany's allies, and Germany's going to be right here in almost a contiguous front. And our main problem, and Slovakia is going to be right here. So the main problem is, like, it's super easy. Like, look at all these rivers you have to cross to get out of this area. A huge pocket is going to form here if you put your forces right up against the border. So what we're going to do is drag them back here. And actually, that's what happened historically, from what I understand. Okay, we need to get down to get construction going. I want to really boost the construction. And now we'll go free trade. And now our factories are going to be working overtime. A lot of bonuses to our factory output now. You can see it right there. So historically, when we take Bessarabia, there will be like the first river to cross, the second river, and the third river. But the Russians, as I understand it, did not cross this river right here. They kind of went up with their line in just right here. They didn't go into these mountains because they knew that the forces right there would get surrounded. They kind of knew enough to say that, okay, we're up against Germany. This is a border with Germany, and the Germans like to move, surround, and they gave up that area, as far as I know. If you watch my historical playthrough of Operation Barbarossa, I think Lieutenant Joker explains that in that video. You can look that up, or just go HOI4 Barbarossa and it'll come up. Just looking to see what's the best. We're not going to be having a lot of air superiority, so Camouflage Expert is a good one if you know you're not going to have air superiority. Damage reduction against CAS plus 50%. Air superiority bonus in combat negative 50%. What does it matter if you don't have any airplanes above you? So if I know these guys are in Leningrad and I just give up the airspace over at Leningrad, at least these guys will do better against CAS. That's the way I see it. Tell me what you think below. So after we get this construction going, I'm thinking we go for the purge. Get the purge over with. If you don't go for the purge by like 1938 or something like that, there's really a lot going up against you, pretty much. And let's count this right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's a whopping 210. So this right here is 280 days plus 210. 500 days, a year and a half. And we need to get all this by 1940 and a half. So what did I say? Okay, so it's like a year and a half. I need to start to get to here. To get done with this focus tree, I need to start by 1939, but I really need to get down to claims in the Baltic. So this needs to start by 1938 to be sure. And we need to get done with the Great Purge, 210 days, better part of a year. So to get down to rehabilitated military, that's going to take a whole year. So I think I'm going to go workers' culture, cult, purge, and then we go rehab military because our military is not going to work unless I have that. It would be nice to get military reorganization, but since I'm playing sort of historically, I want to get those Baltic states. I want to get down here. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. In terms of our research, I always go concentrated industry. Why? Because I get a better boost to my factories. If you're going to do a lot of different production lines, go for dispersed industry. It's better if you're going to be switching production lines. And if you're going to get bombed a lot, we definitely are going to get bombed a lot. So this might work against me, but we have a huge ramp up to the actual day of Operation Barbarossa, which is probably going to be somewhere in 1941, 42. I don't control when Germany's going to attack me, and it's not going to be on the exact day. I think it was June 2nd, 1941. It's not going to be that day. So I got a lot of time. I want to use as many bonuses to my factory output as possible. Next thing we go for is machine tools. So that leads into my second point. We're going to have a huge amount of resources. We still have a little bit to catch up here. What do we do with those resources? Well, in my practice run, if you guys check that out, in my Road to 1,000 Subscribers series, it didn't go so well. I had a huge stockpile of equipment, but it just stayed in the stockpile. And that's because, you know, the Russian roads are worse. This is what I'm assuming. The Russian roads are worse. Supply is worse. Your army is working not as efficient as a, say, German army. Your generals are worse off. The supply is worse off. And pretty much there was a lot of overruns. There was a lot of surrounds. So pretty much reinforcement rate is going to be better, I think, for what we're doing here, knowing that we're going to get attacked by this incredibly efficient army. So we're going to stay in mass assault doctrine. If you've ever watched any of my builds, you know I love to go mobile warfare because I like to move. And this improves kind of your organizational loss when moving. So you lose less more organization as you move. You can keep attacks up while moving through provinces. The mass assault is more about getting the guns in my stockpile and the men in my stockpile up to the front lines, reinforcing them. Minimum training level, we can churn out more troops. So that's awesome. So I can make more divisions that are being lost. Pocket defense, out of supply. So for those surrounded areas, they can hold on for longer. And the supply grace is 48 hours. So it's going to take them 2 days before I start to even suffer supply penalties. And then defense in depth, obviously you get entrenchment bonuses for that. And then you go deep battle. So then we transition to the offensive. And supply consumption goes way down. Organization with the tactic of blitz, that's when we start to be able to move again, start to be able to attack. Reinforce rates go up. Combat width goes down for infantry. This is pretty good. And then you get down to breakthrough priority, and that's when you can really start going for like a mobile offense type army. So the deep battle is good. Everyone says that it's good. The way that we're going to have to get there is I want to do this historical thing with the Baltic states and Bessarabia, and then I want to get back over and get these bonuses to land doctrine. And it's from these badges that you get over here, Lessons of War and Military Reorganization, but I kind of want to do that. It's probably going to hit after the Germans start attacking us. Okay, third thing I go for is War Economy. And you get the Military Factory Construction Speed bonus. This is crazy. It goes to plus 20% from negative 30. We just got a 50% bonus of building military factories. And I believe our stockpile of fuel just went up as well. So we're going to be able to fuel those tanks. I'm thinking the tank army, take them out of there and then put them up to like Estonia or something. I gotta figure this out. Tartu, Harju, Vizem, Kurzim. So who do I not get? So Kanus. Okay, so if I get this, I get claims on Kurzim, Vidzim, Kanus. I think that's all these states. No, it's not Estonia. Oh, okay, so it's just these two down here. Let's line up against Estonia because I might start pressuring them after World War II has started. So let's... I think the other countries will probably collapse with a little provocation. Okay, Great Purge. we'll get that over with. So we're going to get those focus tree badges, and I'm not sure what happened in World War II with Lithuania. I think that Germany actually was the one that took it over. But I know that Latvia and Estonia were clearly in Soviet hands, and Bessarabia. I know that, so maybe someone can help me out in the comments below. But if we took, these two Baltic states up here, I would probably just stay behind this line, make the line somewhere around there. This forest is going to be hard for the Germans to get through, and if I just give up this area right here, like anything over here would just get pocketed off. So that would not be good. Okay, we go with Khrushchev first. Almost forgot I didn't set up my navy yet. Damn, so a lot of that probably went down here. Shoot. And obviously navy is not going to be like our main focus. Let's see, where is... Should be in there. These guys go in there. And I want to take the guys from over in Vladivostok over here and move them over into the Baltic. Just for defense. These are the two admirals that are not going to be purged off. Groshkov and Golovko. And of course they can be upgraded. Or just Golovko can actually. Yeah. Go with another concentrated industry, and now we should probably... Computing machines 405. Gosh, that's too steep. Let's focus on construction again. So all on manufacturing right now. And that concentrated industry allowed me to concentrate more of my industry in these crucial areas. Okay, so we do not want to get rid of Tukayevsky, so don't choose that. It's going to be Rakovsky. Right, that looks like it's 60%. All military factories, because we're just building up stockpiles right now. A little bit out of rubber. Okay, so that means that we're making fighters? Oh, we're making the trucks. Okay, what to get next? Now we kind of we need to start researching our infantry equipment, preparing for battle. February 1937, not too late, but still. Okay, we've got kind of all the military production items taken care of. It would be nice to get a theorist with mass assault doctrine. Mass assault doctrine bonuses. That's 15%. Mass assault expert. This guy's been purged off. Military theorist. So land doctrine and research speed is 10%. So we could wait and get a little greedy Is it worth it? Let's save. Let's save. We'll see what comes first. My opportunity to start researching. Let's see here. My opportunity to start researching this. Yeah, with 440, I'm going to have to wait until I get that theorist. And that 5% bonus really is going to help out. So I'm going to wait for 250 political power. Luckily, you get a lot of political power with the Soviet Union in this game, so that's awesome. Okay, the Navy and the Air Force has been getting off easy so far. So we're going to wait for this to go up to 250. And then we will choose Ross, who was it? Tukaevsky. And then we can start researching our mass assault doctrine. Okay, what else we got going on here? There should be a treaty between Germany and the USSR coming up. I'm going to take it, and it gives you bonuses to building or researching tanks rather. And Germany gets it, I think, when they go for treaty with USSR. And so they'll get better tanks and we'll get better tanks. Okay, so the Great Purge is over. We're going to go for rehabilitated military. Just that one focus tree doctrine. I don't know why I just always execute Chiang Kai-shek. I don't know. This is definitely alt history. Okay. What are we thinking here, guys? What are we thinking? We'll trade with the Dutch East Indies. And then I'm thinking we could probably bolster our defenses. We could probably train a lot more men here. Something like that should suffice. It would be nice to eventually do the research where we can get the excavation research, because we will run out of steel. I think steel's the first thing. Rubber's the first thing, steel's the second thing. Wow, you can create these divisions with very little training. You just crank them out. That's crazy. Okay, let's see what we got. So our stability went down to -5 because of the Great Purge, the Trotsky plot. And then the officers purged. You get organization loss, factory output loss. I would just rather take those penalties now. Oh, and I almost forgot to get our friend here, Tukaevsky. And let's see if we can research our mass assault doctrine. 415 days. Ouch. I don't think so, guys. I don't think I can do that. 400 days. Okay, we'll just go with good old infantry equipment. Okay, let's improve the rail network. Yeah. We'll sign the treaty. The other thing that I'm hoping will happen is that Japan did sign a treaty with the USSR sometime in, like, I forget if it was 38 or 39 after Germany attacked Poland or something like that. I'm hoping that I don't have to do the border war thing back in the other side of the country. That's expensive. We're going to go for the guns and this tank. We get a pretty decent bonus there with the BT-7. So once we get the BT-7, I'll put that into production. A little worried about how many rifles we have. Oh, I keep forgetting to change this. So we're just going to filter these guys into the Baltic Fleet. Okay, get that all set up. And that takes one steel, that takes one steel. Let's get these guys going. Okay. Let's get that one. So those two guys will be indefinitely. We're just going to build submarines and destroyers. And gee, we're already starting to run out of resources here. Might as well get it from Poland. Let's get this guy unyielding defender, just because I know he's going to be a completely defensive guy. And then division recovery rate 10%. I know that Tukaevsky's eventually going to be my offensive guy, so I don't want to give him like straight up defender or something like that. So you have to do those 3 focus trees basically. And you know what? I think I'm going to actually end the video here. And it's 1937. Everything's going well. I want to start my new video up and show you how to take out the Baltic states. The other big thing, the elephant in the room, is that we're not going to do the war versus Finland, because I don't think that there's any way to do it and still, like, I don't know, still have, like, be able to fight on these two huge fronts, and then have the White Peace take place, and then have the continuation war take place. And then what's going to happen is Germany going to stack a bunch of units up there. I think that would be less historical if I actually attacked Finland than just grinding against this front right here against Germany. I think that that is the best way to do this. And I think if I spread my forces out and try to attack Finland, like, I'll just end up taking Finland, and will be less historical than when we started. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Check me out on Patreon, and I'll see you on the next one.